You're listening to WTIM, your information station. In our morning show, it's brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman, and joining me in this segment, I'm joined by Christian County Prevention Coalition members, Bernie Salisbury, and she is secretary and treasurer. And I'm joined also by Jay Bollinger, community health consultant with TMH, today to talk the CCPC. To the both of you, good morning. How are we?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, glad to have you here today to talk something a little bit unique to me. This is really the first time I've got to dive into what exactly is the Christian County Prevention Coalition. And I think that's where we want to start today. What is the CCPC and who are we?
I'll kind of let you start. I think I'll just start by saying, I guess it's we're 100% volunteer led 501c3 right here in Taylorville. And we really try to just focus on I would say helping people overall, but our main focus is people going through addiction and drug court and things like that. And Bernie can kind of piggyback off of me, but I'll just say it's a great organization to be a part of, especially just, I think we talk about like-minded missions a lot with, especially with the why, and so I think being a part of this organization is very similar to the mission of the hospital, and being able to put people first and improve their health and well-being. And that's what this group is trying to do.
Another organization in the community doing so. Sorry, Bernie.
No problem. I was just going to say that actually we've been around for a long time. The coalition actually started way back in 2003, and it was sort of a grassroots organization headed by then State's Attorney Brad Paisley, Christian County Sheriff Bob Kinderman. And I know these are individuals who now are doing something different. It's Judge Paisley now. We also had a prevention coordinator through the Christian County Health Department. And she was a prevention coordinator that they had a grant for her. And she was very instrumental in starting the group. And then we had some people from schools and churches, et cetera. And we mainly started as a prevention and awareness for the rapid increase that we saw in meth in Christian County. And as we started, it was more just to make people aware of what was happening, try to get some prevention programs in schools. And from then it sort of just evolved. We saw that probably, I think that's probably where our name came from, the Prevention Coalition, and just wanting to do prevention awareness. But we've sort of evolved, and we, as Jay mentioned, we really are strong in supporting people who are going through treatment court, those people who maybe start with safe passage or on their own go into a rehab facility. And then when they get out, they need additional support. And so that's a big part of what we do too, as well as a lot of harm and risk reduction. So we do a lot of training with Narcan. And we have Narcan available for free at different locations throughout Taylorville and Christian County. And we also basically just try to support families of people who are in rehabilitation for substance use disorder.
Sure. Well, obviously family is important and the support for them, but something you mentioned in there was the fact that, sometimes somebody gets back from rehab. They get back from treatment court, and then they can fall right back into that same cycle. They might need the support more after they have been there than maybe even before, because you got to keep on that right path.
You're exactly right, Grayson. In different trainings, different conventions or conferences that coalition members have gone to, we found that the number one most critical component of them continuing with their sobriety was safe, sustainable housing. Because if you come back and you fall into the same group, and oftentimes these individuals do not have a home, if you will, to go to. They would stay with different people or go from place to place. And not having that stable, secure home environment is extremely critical to them continuing their sobriety. And so that's one of the things that the coalition has been able to do. If it's okay, I'll tell you how we started. We actually got a grant through the Taylor Memorial Hospital Foundation for $30,000.
Wow.
That was our first grant back around 2020.
Okay.
And we were able to help a great number of people, who are, and basically what we do with our grants is we only support individuals who are in treatment court. It used to be called drug court. Now it's treatment court. And so it's a very strenuous program that has very strict guidelines with drug testing and so on. But we actually support those individuals who we know are extremely serious about changing their life. And in doing so, we had the initial grant for $30,000. Having that track record, basically of showing how we could help individuals, enabled us to get another grant, and it's an ARI grant, which is a redeployment initiative through the government. And we actually get enough money to support 2 homes that are both basically just stable living environments where we have checks on people and that type of thing, and they're all in treatment court, so they're periodically randomly drug tested and things like that. So yeah, that's a big component, a big part of what we do financially in supporting those individuals.
Is the after. Yes.
I would just piggyback off of that too. I think Christian County does a phenomenal job of really trying to help these individuals get on the right track. I've been part of a lot of different communities and helping in multiple ways, but I think looking at the big picture, like this county really cares about its individual, like its residents, and they, and I think they also notice that there's a big drug problem in the county. But let's try to, instead of just incarcerating these people and it's just turning into a vicious circle, like let's put some boots on the ground to try to really help these people and get them back into like a livable lifestyle. And I think with the support from the work that we're doing and the county and the city, I think that's happening. And I think it goes by the wayside a lot. I don't think people really realize all of the work and effort that is going in to try to help these individuals out.
I'm kind of thinking about it as a 4 S's type of thing right now: support, structure, schedule, and stability. If you don't have those things, when you come back, you are almost going to fall right back into that cycle.
100%.
And the recidivism is a sad thing to see for the family, for everybody involved. But you mentioned Christian County. I would have to agree with you. Now, I've not been to a ton of different communities, but the emphasis on actually treating somebody, actually helping them rather than incarcerating them, that I've noticed, and that is a big difference.
So if I could just give a shout out to Judge Brad Paisley,
100%.
because I think he was instrumental in helping us to understand and see how we needed to evolve and the things that we needed to do. He actually started the treatment court in Christian County. And I think once he started that and we understood the components, as you mentioned, the 4 S's that you just gave, how critical they are. And there's like recovery coaches, there's counseling every step of the way for these people. They meet every Wednesday in for treatment court. And it's a big commitment, and it's usually a 2-year program. It's not just, a short period. They make sure that they have the resources that they need and the training they need to sustain that.
And I think that, and I'm not trying to add to your, the 4 S's is just kind of, I'm sitting here kind of thinking about those things, and mentioned here is 4 more things, kind of your backbone, I would say, almost of the CCPC. What would you say in terms of how you make your decisions, how you decide what you are going to do? What are you basing that off of?
Well, that's a good question. I think that we meet monthly, and we have a board of I guess it's a board. It's a coalition of about 20 people. And there are a lot of different agencies that are members. And these agencies all support people in different ways. So I think we probably try to spend some time doing the awareness and prevention, but probably we also do the rehabilitation part.
I think what's cool too is we have individuals that are going through recovery
True.
in the coalition.
Mhm.
Like, we want them to feel valued. We want them to feel like they have an input in what,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, like, they're the ones going through it. So for them to be able to provide insight to us on what they're needing and what their community of
Mhm.
individuals are needing, it really kind of helps shed light on different projects and initiatives that we can
Exactly.
kind of focus on, because they're the ones giving us the information on, hey, this is what the resources that
Mhm.
we need to be successful.
And it goes back to even things that I know the Christian County Health Department is doing right now with surveys, things
Yep.
like TMH with community health needs assessments.
100%.
You need those to know
Mhm.
how to best serve your community. We can go out there and go, meth is a problem, and meth
Mhm.
is a problem.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But how are we going to tackle it? If you don't know what people need to tackle the problem,
Right.
it's not going to get solved.
Yeah.
I have a good feeling that based off what I'm seeing here, you guys, your focus is certainly on prevention and helping with the harm and risk reduction and drug awareness. But I'm seeing here another initiative that you're hoping to kind of lead as well. What can you tell me about your newest initiative?
Yeah. So I think coming out of one of our last or few meetings ago,
Mhm.
we kind of, the need was brought up of food insecurity, and a lot of these people that are in um, treatment court and recovery, they don't necessarily have the means to have, you know a good meal every night. And so what we did is we put together um micro pantries, and we have 3 in the community currently. And these micro pantries are all 100% volunteer staffed.
Right.
So just encouraging businesses, residents to be able to go and stock the micro pantry with non-perishable food items that are easy to prepare, and things like that for these individuals. And just speaking with Peyton at the health department, one of the micro pantries, actually our first micro pantry, was put up at the health department.
Mhm.
And when I reach out to Peyton from time to time, she tells me all the time that it's people are using it. So and people are stocking it as well.
Right.
So I think it's great to be able to see those being utilized. And obviously, if they're having to be restocked, we know there's the need.
Yes.
The
Right.
need is there. So we also have them, I believe, at the probation office, and
Outside
we're
the office.
right outside the probation office, and we're getting ready to install one at the library. I don't think it's up yet, but it will be in the very
Mhm.
near future.
Okay, so offering more locations,
Correct.
more of these micro pantries, and then knowing first and foremost that at the CCHD, these are needed. And so all of a sudden, it makes the need or the want to put more micro pantry locations up around town. 3 coming, or 3 that will be had at the health department, public library, and county probation office. Public library, just a little bit more to get there with having that fully established. The other part to this, and let's take ourselves a break. I'm gonna
Okay.
run. I'm gonna run us over
Okay.
here.
Okay.
We've almost taken care of 14 minutes. I do
Yeah.
want to get to some other points here, but I've enjoyed learning about the CCPC because this is kind of the first time I've really got to dive into it. So thank you both for doing so.
Yeah,
We're
no
joined
problem.
Sure.
by Jay Bollinger, community health consultant with TMH, and Bernie Salisbury, secretary and treasurer with the Christian County Prevention Coalition. We'll be back with these two in just a moment on WTIM.
WTIM. WTIM.
And we're back with the WTIM Morning Show here on your information station and brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm joined by members of the Christian County Prevention Coalition, that being Bernie Salisbury, Secretary and Treasurer, and Jay Bollinger, Community Health Consultant with TMH, also a member on said board. Guys, we've been talking about what exactly is the CCPC, the Christian County Prevention Coalition, your mission, your awareness, and a brand new initiative you're bringing to Christian County. Talk to me a little bit about those micro pantries, because they're stocked with something else in there as well.
Yeah, so part of Martin Luther King Day, the hospital health system across all 5 of our hospitals does what's called the Martin Luther King Day of Service. And each hospital picks a project to work on for that day, just to kind of give back to the community and say thank you. And so I had the idea this year of doing warming kits that we could put in those micro pantries. So we stocked about 50 bags full of blankets and hats and gloves and can openers and lip balm and hand sanitizer and some resource pamphlets and things like that, hand warmers for individuals to be able to use in times of need. And so we stocked all the pantries with those, and it's been great. Peyton has told us multiple times that she's constantly restocking those. So we left a bunch there for them to continuously restock. But I think that's a thing where you find a need and then you try to learn to grow on that need. And it's more about it's not just about food insecurities too. It's about helping individuals in times of need, and it's freezing cold out right now. So
Sure is. And I'm tired of it. A real quick question, because we don't have a ton of time. Yep. What else can we expect from the CCPC? What are we thinking? What's
I would
next?
say more in community involvement.
Okay.
Well, I think our mission kind of going forward for at least 2026 and beyond is really trying to get more in community involvement and being involved in community events to kind of help get our name out there and tell the community what we're doing.
And hopefully today helps in that regard. Bernie, thank you for joining me. Jay, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Gotten to learn a lot today about the Christian County Prevention Coalition. I hope you did the same out there. Bernie Salisbury, Secretary and Treasurer, and Jay Bollinger, Community Health Consultant with TMH, talking Christian County Prevention Coalition on WTIM.